Is his name Walton Goggins?
His name is Walton Goggins.
I thought it was Walton
Walton
Goggins.
Goggins. Gollagay.
You learn something every day. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris. Mechanical organism designed only for dabbing. Johnson.
And I am simply a speck on the infinite void of the quantum realm.
Is the quantum realm technically a Whoville?
I don't know.
Like Horton Hears a Who, the Grinch, those towns exist on like a speck of dust, right?
If a Whoville...
Are they a quantum realm?
If a Whoville is in the Whoville, but there's no Horton to hear it, does a Whoville really Whoville?
These are the sorts of questions we're going to ask and answer, maybe, on Big Damn Pop Culture Podcast.
Hello.
We've. Do you know what? Let's before we do anything else, let's just sort of catch up culturally on what we've been up to, because we've been busy boys. I've been desperately looking for work, and that's about it. And you've been incredibly worky.
Desperately being a dad.
You've been Desperate Dad, my favourite character from the
Desperate Dad. I love cow pies
from the Dandy. That used to horrify me as a kid when I realised
the idea of a pie with the horn still in.
When I realised, I'm going to move these back slightly because we're going to piss ourselves.
Yeah,
when for those listening along at home, I just shifted our testicles slightly to the side.
Yeah, you don't want to get them wet.
No,
chaps the skin.
I think this is Kick. There's not going to be anything genital related on this video stream. For those listening along at home, there's no camera. It's all in your head.
There's definitely no camera.
The hell was I going with this? That was it. The Dandy. As a kid, when I realised, why do all of his pies have horns? It's like, because they're cow pies.
They're cow pies.
So, is that a cow in there?
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to mind was it was just a cow's head in the middle.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. But then, of course, it's the weirdly barbaric thing of him decorating the pie with the horns of the slain cow.
Yeah. Desperate Dan's metal as fuck, mate.
See, I would have become vegetarian, but then, like... Sprouts exist.
I love Sprouts.
I didn't until about the age of 27.
Oh, right.
Didn't
so
enjoy
you grew up.
Yeah.
Hey!
Well, there's that thing in there of like your taste buds roughly every 7 years, every cell in your body is changed in some way. And your taste buds kind of go along with it. It's why sometimes there's foods that you really like when you're younger and then you get older and you don't like them and vice versa. Sprouts was one for me. I didn't really enjoy them until I was about 27, 28.
Well, my taste buds better fucking do their job because I still don't fucking like Marmite.
Do you think you'll ever get to the point where you do?
If I do, put a bullet in me.
Oh, God.
I don't want to eat that.
A Marmite flavoured one. It's just a cruel extra twist of irony. So you're just like, this is how I want it to be. I'm so sorry, my darling, as you kiss your wife and child atop their foreheads and stride off into the 10 paces into the distance as the person who's been given the bullet readies himself to fire at you as of your command. And as it passes through your chest, you catch this weird whiff and you're like... Is that yeast?
Yeast!
Damn you! And Marmite is the thing that takes you out.
Marmite. Death by Marmite.
Yeah.
Easy to imagine. Tastes like death.
Marmite's fucking horrible. What is it I've eaten recently that absolutely tasted... McDonald's. I got a few nights ago.
Marmite McDonald's?
No, not Marmite.
I don't like where this is going.
McMarmite. We came back from a last minute visit to the theatre.
Some loving it, some hating it.
Opinion split.
We
came back from the theatre on Friday. It doesn't matter what night it was. You guys are listening to this in the future.
Friday, did I?
Yeah, last second, a friend of Lou's, their kid couldn't go to Rocky Horror anymore last minute. So they were like, does Lucy want the tickets? And Lou phoned me and was like, are we going to see Rocky Horror today? I was like, why are you even asking this question?
Yes, we're going to see Rocky Horror.
Yes, we are. Phone down. And then picked it up to be like, sorry, I put the phone down, dude. That was rude.
Yeah.
But
where are we going to go see Rocky Horror?
We got back late and we hadn't really eaten because it was very much like okay, I guess that's this evening's plan. She came home, got changed. We went straight back into Manchester, went to saw the show. It was incredible. We gave ourselves over to absolute pleasure. It made us shiver with anticipation. So we got home quite late that night, and we had
Patient.
There it is. People tuning into this for like our Marvel hot takes. What the fuck are they talking about? Theatre, you uncultured swines. And theatre, it involves corsets and sex. Cunnilingus and blowjobs. It's magical.
Theatre should.
I meant on stage.
Yeah.
And I ordered a nugget share box because we got back and ordered McDonald's.
Nuggets
Oh yeah,
in a box
McNuggets
that you can share.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bonus points.
Oh.
Plus here.
Boneless.
Whoever did it,
Hey.
Whoever did it, just shoved them in the box. I had 23 of the buggers.
Oh! What? After sharing?
Downside: McDonald's have their own barbecue sauce, which they've had for a while, but now it's in these round tubs. It was called Smoky Barbecue. I was like, oh, this is different. I opened it up. I can only assume that the taste tester likes their barbecue the same way they like the underside of a tyre, because it just tasted rubbery and burnt, and it just, it was clinical. It was horrid. And to the point where I was just halfway through this tub went, nope, sorry, can't do it anymore. I just had to go in the fridge and pull out a lot of stuff.
That sounds like the way I like my barbecue sauce.
You're a heathen. I've got Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce in the fridge right now.
That's pretty good.
I've been very slightly using it with things. Like I did a fried egg and like cheap freezer chicken burger sort of sandwich the other day.
And then I had it between 2 bits of Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce.
No, I just like spread the Jack Daniel's on the burger for its last couple of minutes in the oven.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh god, this is so nice. And there's no alcohol in it, everybody.
No, there wouldn't be anyway if you cooked it off, because cooking cooks off the alcohol first.
I cook it right off. What have you, good sir? I mean, I know one thing you've watched recently because we both went to see it, and we'll talk about it in a little while. But
Yeah.
what have you been watching? What have you been imbibing in your free times, in your commutes, in your God, I can't get to sleep right now. Go on, I'll give this a go. What have you been? Not to rip off another podcast featuring 2 white men in their 30s talking about like things they do, but what have you been reading? And
what are you going to read?
What are you going to read?
You know what I finally watched that I've been seeing trailers for ages, and then I was like, I was at home with Alice one day, and she was sort of, just sleepy and cuddly, and I thought, I'll put something on for a couple of hours. Keys and get me out for a bit. The Menu.
Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult and actual Voldemort and food.
Yeah.
Is it as gloriously camp as you want it to be?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good.
What do you...
For those who don't know, over here in the UK, it is out on Disney Plus on the Stars option.
Yes, that's how I watched it.
If you're one of our American viewers or listeners, you'll be like, wait, what? Yeah, Disney Plus over here has had like R-rated content for ages. It's just you can set your kid's profile to not access the stuff that isn't PG-13 or below.
What do you think The Menu is?
Some kind of takedown of
have you seen The Menu?
Influencer and bougie culture that sort of rips a hole into it a little bit. Anya Taylor-Joy's character is probably not one of that crowd, and that's why she's the odd one out. And it's kind of a slasher film, but not really. Like it's a "you're all going to die, and this is how it's going to happen" movie. More a Ready or Not or something like that than a Halloween. Am I anywhere near the mark?
Closer than I was when I first saw the trailer.
Okay, what did you think it was going to be?
This is going to be some weird cannibalism thing.
Okay.
It's not.
Any cannibalism? Some cannibalism. Can a movie?
Should a movie? And I'm not
hinted cannibalism.
I'm not saying it because I don't know.
You're saying it to preserve the integrity of your viewing experience.
Yeah, I don't know if it... I don't want to say anything either way, because I don't want to tell anybody any more about what the movie actually is, which includes confirming or denying whether or not stuff happens. But stuff does in fact happen. What kind of stuff it is, I'm not going to tell you.
Kind of stuff.
Shoulda stuff.
Kind of stuff, shoulda stuff.
Woulda stuff. I will simply say it is definitely worth a couple of hours of your time. It is fucking hilarious in parts. it could totally intentionally. Like, it's dark, jet black comedy. It's comedy so dark, no light can escape it. It's, you know, it's
a good definition, to be
with
fair.
some great performances at the centre of it, and yeah, just lots of screw that person. I've also
just a little bit.
Have you been watching The Last of Us?
Not yet. I want to binge it. I'm currently revisiting, and I'm near the end. What We Do in the Shadows is just like a thing to do while sending out applications.
Yeah, that I do need to catch up on, actually.
And that's been really fun, just as while I'm looking at this screen and sending out a CV or a showreel thing for the millionth time this morning, having a thing on the screen next to me that is comforting me and making me laugh. And every now and again, I'm stopping what I'm doing to just watch it for 10 minutes and then carry on. Has been really nice. And I've sort of put myself in that mindset of, I'm going to wait till it's all ready to watch Last of Us, and then just sit down over a few nights and just binge it. Partially, I think, because I know it's not exactly the same.
It's not.
But having played the game, I'm not as much as in that mood to go, I have to go on this journey, more so than, all right, let's see what this one did. And I can do that in 1 or 2 sit-ins rather than week by week.
Well, I'm 6 episodes
Also, I don't work in an office, so I don't have the water cooler.
yeah.
I don't have the water cooler thing of did you watch Last of Us yesterday? Well, yes, I like the bit where it annoyed all the homophobes.
Yeah, that was great. It is generally...
Gay people exist? This is disgusting.
Gay people exist.
Oh, God.
It is... Non-binary people exist? Yes.
Did you see the HBO Max? It's HBO Max, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the HBO Max Twitter account. Oh, no, you're not on Twitter anymore. Good boy. They put out an image of Ellie and her... how they worded it, that best friend look. It's you're really scared of peeing off the horrid people, aren't you?
Although, they could just be avoiding spoilers.
Maybe, but it does feel like they don't want to lose the viewers.
Yeah,
even though the
fucking
viewers that are
sucks.
pissed off by stuff that, exists and is normal. For Christ's sake, who've played the games, so they know that some of these things, when they do Series 2, are they going to be pissed off at Abby all over again? Just from the beginning, are they just going to be raging again? It's you played the game, you know who the character is, whatever your personal and quite frankly fucking archaic prejudices are, why are you dragging it up like it's a new thing and an issue?
If they didn't like the gays in season 1, just wait until they meet Lev! That's really going to fuck them up!
How is it, though? How is
Yeah,
it?
it's
Is it one of those
ace.
rare, we've adapted a game into something and
It's
actually
really good.
made it brilliant for the medium it's in?
It's really, really very good.
Okay.
And again, another thing that is anchored by a pair of just rock solid performances.
Well, Bella Ramsey is...
She's so good!
is not unknown to me, because they were the Worst Witch in the CBBC revival about 5-6 years ago. And yeah, absolutely wonderful. And the fact that it's yep, you're now going to go on to this. And again, it's not about that, but the fact that, they're pissing everybody off with the fact that it's so... You identify as non-binary? Yeah, but I don't go by any specific pronoun. You can call me whatever, because I'm still kind of on my journey and I'm sort of figuring myself out.
Yeah.
And people are going, "Rah, rah, rah," instead of just watching the show and going, God, they're really good.
They're so good!
It's so...
So good!
Oh, God. It makes it very easy to see who to block on social media.
Yeah, and it's just it expands it in interesting ways. It changes things, not just for the sake of changing them, but for... It does what you can do on a TV show that you can't do with a video game, even one as narrative and quote-unquote cinematic as The Last of Us, and you just explore your time with the characters more. I mean, what you don't have to do is you don't have to fill X number of hours with action sequences.
Yeah.
There's not actually that much action in the season. I'm 6 episodes in. I've got 3 left. So, is that right?
Yeah, 10 this season.
9.
9. Okay.
9. They combined the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
So the first episode's movie length.
Oh, so if you watched it, if you box set it, for example, it might be 10 episodes, but the way they put it out
No, 10 hours. It'll still be 9 episodes.
Oh, okay.
They're not. They didn't just show them back to back. They
Feature length season premiere.
Yeah, they edited them together.
Okay. And as a parent, you can speak on how daddy Pedro Pascal is.
So daddy.
So much daddy.
So daddy.
GoDaddy.com.
And actually, as of tomorrow, as of Wednesday, after we've recorded this,
Yeah.
I'll be able to double daddy.
Oh.
With
Mando.
Pedro Pascal.
There'll be 2 concurrent TV series going out where he plays a I will risk everything to keep you safe single daddy with an adopted child. Have you seen how much he's been leaning into that? Like his internet daddydom.
He loves it.
He's been leaning into it. At first he was kind of bashful, and now he's like doing it in good spirits. Like he's you can tell he's a bit like, all right, everyone, calm down. But if he thinks it's a funny joke, he'll do it. And then he gave us that stellar Super Mario trailer for SNL. Like depicted Mario as more of a Mad Max Last of Us hybrid. And
Mad Mario, that I want. I want that.
Let's go. It's like, yes, Pedro. Yes, let's go.
Does it better than Chris Pratt.
When we saw the trailer on Wednesday night for that, and even now in like the cinematic trailer for Mario that is out in front of films, he's barely speaking in it, almost as though they're like,
how much Mario can we edit out of the Super Mario movie?
God. So you speak of the menu. I finally got around to Glass Onion.
Glass Onion is
incredible.
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
Fantastic.
And it's fascinating coming to it 2 months after its release. 22nd December, wasn't it? 22nd, 23rd December was the Netflix release. Yeah, that's right.
It's just after Christmas, yeah.
It had a brief release in cinemas the last weekend of November, and then it came out on Netflix.
Yeah, I think I watched it on like New Year's Day or something.
It was amazing, but having that slight 2-month detachment from it meant that I got to kind of sit in the pop cultural fart cloud of it. Where it was a lot of people going, movie critics and whatnot going, this was great, or I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, but like this was fantastic, or I didn't love it as much, but Daniel Craig's amazing, or holy crap, this one turned it on its head. But you also had a lot of people going, I just don't understand it. Like it's really dumb, it's stupid, and the pattern between a lot of them, like there were people out there who watched it and went, I just didn't enjoy it. I personally just didn't enjoy it as much as the other one, and it's like that's fine. But there are people out there going, this movie's really dumb. There is a Venn diagram of people who didn't like it and people who think it's dumb, where in the middle, it's a bunch of influencers and like cryptocurrency traders and far right commentators. And it's like,
I wonder.
Once upon a time in this podcast's earlier incarnation, we got lambasted on a few occasions by listeners who were like, we hate it when you get political. But I think we've made our political kind of ideology and human existence quite clear in terms of how we think people should be treated and respected, and which people should be given a bit of a go over there and have a fucking think about what you're saying. And this movie is a movie about those people are fucking dumb, aren't they? Go over there and have a fucking think about what you're fucking doing.
In case you were unclear about my political affiliations, I'm going to quote the great Sam Wilson. On your left.
I'm going to quote the great Tom Baker. I'd love to kick a Tory in the bollocks.
I was going to say, wherever you're standing, on your left. That's where I am.
And that is the thing with this. Like, this entertainment shouldn't be about annoying a political leaning or what have you. Like, that shouldn't be what it's about. But if it has something to say, and that thing it says does that says a lot more about who it annoys than who made it, what the story was. No spoilers, because again, it's a murder mystery. I think people should go into it knowing as little as possible. But I'll say this: if you haven't watched Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, a title that Ryan Johnson hates, and I completely agree with him.
It should be Knives Out, a Benoit Blanc mystery,
and then Glass Onion, a Benoit Blanc mystery.
Yeah,
I think you retroactive. Here's how you do it: whatever the third one is, you call it, chocolate starfish.
A glass onion mystery.
No. You call it a Knives Out mystery, and then you retroactively re-release Knives Out as Knives Out, a Knives Out mystery. So it just triply doesn't make any sense.
I think it should be Knives Out, a chocolate starfish mystery, personally.
Oh God! But yeah, I think that it is every bit as unique, and which is it's a very oxymoronic thing to say. It's every bit as unique as the other one, but like it's every bit as a unique entry into the murder mystery genre as the first one was. In that the first one was it's a typical whodunit, except you, the audience, are going to find out exactly who done it and why and how in Act 2. And you're going to spend the rest of the movie going, wait, but if they find this, but that, right, so who did, So it's like a mystery that, the normal mystery.
An enigma.
Yeah, the normal mystery with all the normal trappings. Big Gothic manor house, like feuding family, everyone's going to sit down and be interviewed and pointed out at the end kind of setup. And then in the middle goes, actually, here's what happened, but only you, the audience, know, and now you know why that character's doing what they're doing. They're in the shit, really, aren't they? I hope they figure things out, because they seem really lovely. And it's like, yeah. The second one is it's not the same, but it's got that thing of, you think you know what this is, and the characters in it think they know what this is.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is, and when it is narratively satisfying, they'll tell you what this is. And then the third act begins.
Did you think you knew what it was up until the point the movie told you that it's not what you thought it was? Because I did.
I couldn't figure out what the hook was.
Yeah.
Until the beginning of... So there's a moment sort of at end of Act 1, start of Act 2. Again, keeping this vague for those who haven't seen it and want to see it. There's a moment sort of end of Act 1, start of Act 2, where what you think this is a balloon, and a character basically takes a thumbtack to it immediately.
Yeah.
And it's still really satisfying, but it's the end of a murder mystery told in 30 seconds.
Yes.
And it's like, oh.
That's
and I was like,
brilliant.
Where is this going to go now? The following...
That's not the bit that I mean.
The following 10 minutes was where my brain went, and then they started to lay out what they were up to, and I was like, okay.
Okay.
There was a tiny thing very early on that irked me, involving an object, a location, and a hammer. That early on, as a visual gag and storytelling moment, is sublime. But I was always like, but didn't they? I mean, they're not quite like when we.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, that slotted into place, and I was like, okay, that's... Oh, God. Rian Johnson is very good.
Yeah.
End of sentence. No, Rian Johnson is very good at telling you exactly what's happening, just without the context, long before you realise that that's exactly what was happening.
Yes.
He's great at just having it all out in front at the beginning in a way that only on the second watch you go, oh, God, they were telling us from minute one. They've been telling us from the first minute of the goddamn thing. It's the Edgar Wright characters listing the whole plot thing.
Yeah, it's the Shaun of the Dead World's End thing.
Yeah. It's brilliantly done.
As well,
yeah. It's superbly done.
Yeah.
Craig shines. I mean, the whole cast shine. Everyone's incredible in this. But Craig is just this... I could watch a Benoit Blanc film every year for the rest of my
Daniel
life.
Craig being Benoit Blanc. I don't care what he's in. I love it. I love that he's found his character actor niche now. He's gotten rid of the Bond stuff. He can be the character actor he always was. He doesn't have to do the leading man thing anymore. He can do weird shit like the Knives Out films and Logan Lucky, and just do weird
Logan
voices
Lucky,
yes. and be odd and do odd things and not have to be.
Like, does he still bring gravitas? Sure,
yeah,
but it's layered in like camp and sass and softness and absolute charm. Like, Benoit is such a charming character, and the difference, of course, from the first one and this one is Benoit is the main character this time around.
Yes,
for the audience. Like, the way the first film was billed was, he's the detective, so you all immediately go, right, he's gonna be the main character. No, he's not. He's just there. And then in this one, it's like, oh no, he's our entry point. Speaking of entry points, Benoit Blanc and character actors who are only now getting to be character actors after years of being the handsome leading man in roles that are just like they're good at, but like you can tell they're having more fun now.
Yeah.
That slight Hugh Grant cameo.
Oh, it's very good.
It's very good because it picks up on a line from the last film. And it's just, there you go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I hope they could be in scenes together in the next one.
Yeah.
That's a really sweet idea.
Yeah.
And also, once again, it's a film that goes like, hey, you know the underserved and marginalised, like, working class member of this entire story?
Mm.
Wouldn't it be really cathartic if they fucked over the rich evil pricks? It's magical.
Need to watch the menu.
It's magical. Okay. It's magical. And the ending is... Oh, God, I've seen some weird theories about the ending.
What? I'm sorry, theories?
Yeah, I've seen theories that, like, it didn't sit well with some people because a certain object that was very important in the final minutes of the film, well, it just felt disrespectful. Or, well, I've seen theories that it's not actually the real version and all this stuff. And it's like, you are reading way too much into this. The film spells it out.
You are missing
in the film, yeah.
the point.
The film spells out exactly what this film is about. This film is about Elon Musk. This film is about incredibly stupid people making very smart decisions and partnerships and patents and becoming figureheads and respected geniuses when really they're just dumb as a bag of hammers. And that's what this film is about. And it's not aimed at Edward Norton. His character is the one with the most kind of parallel. Has gone on record as saying, didn't even think of him once when I was putting the character together.
I don't even know him.
Actively didn't think of him while I was putting the character together, but that doesn't stop him from, just consciously.
I mean, yeah,
subconsciously,
it's difficult. It's fucking difficult to escape from that fucking impossible.
The film got delayed, so came out around the time that the world was looking at this dude and going, God, he's a bit of a fucking moron, isn't he? And then this film comes out and it's like, oh, Jesus, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, he's
oh, my
a moron.
God, yeah. And also the fact that they had to film during heavier COVID restrictions. So instead of going, oh, well, we'll do what we can, but people down the line are going to see dramas produced in 2020, 2023 and see the difference and kind of realise, oh, that was shot during the pandemic. And they went, no, screw that. It's set during the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah,
because then that way we can bubble everybody who's in it. We can shoot in a way where it's like we know that everybody's been kept together. We minimise the crew that's on set and... There, it's in the plot. And it was like, oh my God, that's so smart.
And we got Ethan Hawke to appear for a scene.
Yeah.
And just spray everybody in the mouth.
We get 4 brilliantly, wonderfully odd cameos on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Oh my God, 2 posthumous cameos.
Yeah, sadly.
One just real fun one.
Yeah.
And one, hang on, is this technically a tease for your next project, Ryan Johnson? Which turned out, yes, it freaking was. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it to anybody who likes murder mysteries, because this will do what the first one did, which is make you rethink how murder mysteries can work. If you just like fun films with slightly darkly comedic kind of vibes, great. If you like watching actors flex their muscles and play characters that like allow them to show off. Sometimes, once again, Dave Bautista proving that. Please let this man stick around and play whatever roles he wants. Because this one, like, his physical stature leans into the character's, like, attitude and lifestyle. But, oh my God, just the entire... He's the manosphere as a character.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's brilliantly done. So good. So good. And Leslie Odom Jr. really rocks that little beard as well. The whole time I was just like, I mean, I already know he's handsome. But, come on. What else? What else can we slip into the old...
What
have you been playing lately?
I have been almost exclusively playing the brand new... if it was 6 years ago. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Finally got around to Breath of the Wild.
Am I wrong, or did you have it on Wii U?
I did briefly have it on Wii U.
Right,
but,
okay.
That would involve having to play my Wii U.
Right, whereas you want to be able to play this on the commute and get some of that sweet
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild in your life.
Yeah, and also...
You want to be able to cradle a baby while holding a Joy-Con in each hand.
Yes, that's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to do. I recommend it to anyone who can. She's here on you, and then you just like...
Won't be in perfect timing. Because then if you want to treat yourself to the Tears of a Ball Bag, whatever it's called.
Tears of a Ball Bag.
Tears of a Ball Bag.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, that's it. Then you've timed it beautifully.
Well, this is the thing with Switch, because one of the other things I've also been playing is Pokemon Violet.
Ah!
And let me tell you, fucking Switch is struggling, son.
Oh.
It is struggling to run the games that Nintendo are making for it.
Wait, I mean, I heard that the most recent Pokemon games had issues.
They have issues.
But is it to do with the console not being able to keep up with what's on the cartridge?
Yeah.
Or... What?
Like it can't do the things they want it to do. Now the Switch can do some amazing things. Look at the things like the ports of the Doom games. Look at the things like the Warframe port. Look at the things like the Witcher 3. But it has limits. To the point where they've released some games on it as cloud editions, where they're basically streaming.
Because it takes less strain on the console.
Yeah, well, it takes no strain on the console.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Control.
Control.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what my Attack of the Clones lightsaber said. It has Yoda in it, and when you play with it, it goes like, use the Force. It's really strange. I hate it. I still own it. It's down there somewhere. It's horrid. Okay. But yeah, Control.
Kingdom Hearts as well, apparently. Control's apparently really good as a cloud game. Kingdom Hearts apparently dog shit as a cloud game. So, I've not tried either. So I couldn't tell you, but...
Which is so strange when you think about it. Kingdom Hearts is several generations old at this point.
I've done some...
Even the PS4 remaster is just the PS3 1.5
Yeah, I would have thought
remaster
it would be better to just...
with a slightly different sound mix.
Yeah, just port Kingdom Hearts over to the Switch. Or it might just be Kingdom Hearts 3, actually. In which case,
Yeah, it's a PS4 title.
It would struggle.
Yeah, it would have an ish, yeah.
But like I say, they managed to get Doom and Doom Eternal running on that fucking thing. So it can be done.
It can be taught!
But yeah, Pokemon Violet is just... It feels like a game that was rushed out and just not optimised. Like, it chugs.
Are they in the Ubisoft business at the minute? Game Freak? Are they trying to get one out a year?
Yes, but it's not just one team.
Oh.
They're overlapping teams.
Oh, right. So,
which is
kind
why,
of like Ubisoft.
Which is what you've always seen with if you've followed Pokemon games for long enough, you'll notice that
I haven't.
They'll have things in one game that aren't in the next game, like quality of life changes, ideas, mechanics and stuff, but then show up in the game after that again.
Oh.
And so it kind of alternates iterations because they've got overlapping teams working on stuff.
And they don't share each other's notes.
Yeah.
Or
So like there was stuff that popped up in Heart Gold and Soul Silver that improved upon some of the stuff in Pearl and Diamond for the DS. And how it used the hardware that then weren't carried forward into Black and White.
Oh.
And didn't really have any sort of resemblance until Black and White 2.
Should we just burn it all to the ground and just continue to make Pokemon Legends games instead?
Oh, Arceus is fucking great. It's really good.
Wait, it's an RPG still, but it's an RPG.
Yeah, kind of.
Like it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more third-person action RPG than.
I mean, the battles are still turn-based, but yeah, everything's on the. And also, well, to be fair, that is something Scarlet and Violet does carry over. It expands on the idea of it being an open world.
Okay.
That you get a little bit of in Sword and Shield with the wild area, and then you get even more of in Pokemon Legends because it's 5 regions that are connected by a hub town. So you can't travel from one region to the other, but you fast travel back to the hub town and go to another region. But the actual regions themselves are massive. Whereas Scarlet and Violet is a fully open world. Okay. That's what the Switch is struggling with.
Ah.
It's too big. It's too big. There's too much going on. They did a patch for it a couple of weeks ago. It was like, yeah, we're going to improve performance. How are we going to improve performance? Oh, it's going to spawn less Pokemon.
That
in your Pokemon game,
less of the things that I'm meant to find everywhere and catch.
Because it's a seamless thing now, where you see a Pokemon in the overworld, you throw the ball, it goes into the battle right there. It doesn't transition to a separate screen.
Right. Okay.
Same as it is in Pokemon Legends.
Yeah.
Where Sword and Shield still transition to a separate screen, even though you can see them. Oh yeah. Well, it's different soundtrack, but yes. It's set in the Pokemon world's version of Spain, so it has appropriately Mediterranean music.
Pokemon.
And you can make sandwiches for some reason. I don't know why.
It's not the only Switch game.
In Sword and Shield, you could camp out with your Pokemon and make curry. In this one, you can camp out with your Pokemon and make sandwiches.
Okay. In Cult of the Lamb, some of your villagers make sandwiches out of their own feces.
No, Keith's been playing Cult of the Lamb. And I do want to play Cult of the Lamb because it looks cool as hell.
I'm horrified by it.
It's great.
I'm legit creeped out by it.
I need to play it.
In a way where I'm more creeped out by the fact I'm more creeped out by the fact that there are not many people who are also creeped out by it. Like, I think it's cute as hell, and I'm happy to play dark and weird games and everything, but like, my wife is sat there the other day, a couple weeks ago, playing it. She went, "Oh," I was like, "What is it?" It was a little animation of like the villagers like chanting along. She was like, "It's cute," and it was like, "What they're doing?" She was like, "Oh, I'm brainwashing them." Yeah. And I was like, "Okay,
it's creepy as hell."
Okay. Oh, this one's old now. Oh, but they want us to be sacrificed.
Yeah.
What?
But it's all very cutesy.
I
like it a lot.
What's the triangular looking fellow? The crocodile looking dude's like.
I mean, there's a lot of side characters that fit into that.
I'm a big fucking crocodile.
There's a mushroom hunter who just speaks entirely in.
There's that spider who's just like, "Yeah, I've caught someone. I'm going to eat them. Oh, you want to take them? All right, I'll give them to you in exchange for some money." And you're just like, this is a normal transaction in this world.
Normal. Everything is normal in Cult of the Lamb. Yeah, Cult of the Lamb's great. I should play it.
You're all weird.
I've seen a lot of it.
I've been playing, and you saw about this when you showed up before recording. And then I put it away, and I got the game out that I was playing. I've been playing what I can only describe as blissful mundanity. As in, it's kind of samey. The skill and everything comes from how you play the main matches and figure out the card play. If you're familiar with XCOM, this won't be unusual to you. Like Pokemon or Final Fantasy, it's the turn-based combat kind of thing. Marvel's Midnight Suns by 2K Games and Fireaxis. I'm having a ball with this. The story's great. The script is brilliant. The cutscenes are fantastic. The depth of stuff from the Marvel comics that is used is so pleasing. Not since, let's say, X-Men Legends 2, Ultimate Alliance 2 has a Marvel game gone, nah, screw it. Nico Minoru. Oh, sorry, you want a Ghost Rider? Cool. How about Robbie Reyes? But we're gonna meet Johnny Blaze, and we're gonna deal with that shit. And you're going to be like, oh, what's that grave he keeps visiting? Why does it say Roxy on... Like, they're going further. They're having so much fun diving in. I've started playing the DLCs alongside the main story. There's a Deadpool campaign, a Venom campaign, and still to come a Morbius and a Storm one.
And I'm like... wait for the Morbius one.
Oh, come on. Comic book Morbius in a game based around a comic book that he's regularly a part of. There will not be any Jared Leto involved in this.
That's fine. That's not what I miss.
Jared, oh god, just remember Jared Leto's kombucha is a plot point in Glass Onion, more so the Jeremy Renner like chili sauce.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
But comic book Morbius, who's hung out in the Midnight Suns, and they're doing Morbius as one of the DLCs.
Listen.
In a DLC where the main enemy is a vampire uprising that has been triggered by the theft of an artifact, but from sin. Sin is in this. Dr. Faustus is in this.
It's not that I'm worried about Jared Leto being involved. It's more
He's not involved.
Exactly.
He's not involved.
Exactly. It's more that I know that Matt Smith won't be involved.
Oh, have sex.
Without that, Morbius is nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
What if they slip a It's Morbin Time reference into the script somewhere?
I will throw myself off the nearest pavement.
The character roster's been a lot of fun. A lot of it's just, you can breeze through the story. Wrong description. You can get through the story in 36 hours.
Get through the story.
Yeah, you can get through the story in 36 hours, according to the guide I looked at, out of curiosity.
You can get through a lot of things in 36 hours.
I've been playing it for about 50. I am still at the start of Act 3 of the story. It's because I'm grinding. I'm spending time with the characters. I'm exploring the abbey and the grounds around it.
Grinding.
I'm finding out
Bony.
all of the hidden witchcraft stuff, the stuff about the Salem witch trials, the stuff about Haram Shaw. I'm looking into Cassandra the Caretaker's history. I'm digging up all of Wanda and Agatha's journals. I'm doing all these extra things, which is making my card set more variable and powerful, making my combat much more fun, letting me know that I now have I'm at a point where I know I can combo. I'll combo these three. Oh, I can't use those two right now. Well, I'll bring that one and that one in, and I know what attacks I can do and how I will absolutely smash this battle. The reason I called it Blissful Mundanity is because if you do it that way, it's a lot of rinse and repeat. As you start the next day in the game, you need to make sure you hit this, you go to the armory, you go to the forge, you do this, you do that. If you want to boost everything, you regularly go around picking up ingredients from the Abbey grounds for stuff to use in Loki's Cauldron and things like that. It's been really comforting. Other people play Animal Crossing, Disney Dreamlight Valley, The Sims. I'm playing Marvel's Midnight Suns. I'm digging it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's nice. Do you know what else is nice? Change. Renewal. Appreciation for what you've got and knowing that finally it's going to get shown off and enjoyed and used correctly in a way where, like when you've got a soup maker. You've got a soup maker in your kitchen. You've not used that in years. And then one day you pop to your supermarket, end of the night, and they've got that bundle. Like 50p, they're just chucking out loads of fruit and veg. You're like, we'll grab that. And hang on, wait a minute. Got a bit of coriander in there. You're gonna make yourself a fruit and veg soup. You're gonna make yourself a fucking banging like potato and leek soup or an amazing carrot soup.
There's no such thing as a banging potato and leek soup, Christopher.
A bussing potato and leek soup.
No.
Potato and leek soup pussy. Supremacy.
No.
Basically, since we've last done a podcast, the DCU slate has been announced. We know what's coming out from DC.
They've done this before.
True. But last time...
It went really well from last time.
But last time, they didn't have a set release date roadmap presentation outside of like boardroom versions. And somebody behind it who has a track record of going, oh yeah, I wanted to make the thing, so we made the thing. It's like, okay. James Gunn and, by extension, Peter Safran, but he's not the face of it. He seems to be the one taking the punches for the decisions people don't like the removal of Cavill from the DCEU and other stuff like that. But James Gunn came out with a thing on like January 31st and went, all right, everybody. So here's what we're calling Chapter 1 of the DCU. Just so you know, there's going to be stuff going on. DC TV stuff and films that aren't part of our ongoing story, and they're going to be called Elseworlds. And I was like, oh, like the comics. Okay. Yeah, this is how you can differ from the competition, if you want.
Kind of what people have been doing anyway with terming that stuff Elseworlds, yeah.
True, but in terms of like having hey, general public, here's the deal. If at the start of the film you see the Elseworlds logo, it's not part of that thing where it's all connected. Don't worry about it. If you see a thing with the DCU logo, they're connected.
Does that mean we might get Batgirl?
No, unfortunately, because David Zaslav and tax reasons. Brendan Fraser went on Howard Stern's show a couple of weeks ago and finally talked about it a bit more. And he just talked about like the amount of effort and time people put into it. And he elevator pitched his version of Firefly to Howard Stern in 2 sentences. And immediately you're like, I want to see this movie so bad. We're never going to see this movie. What the hell? And he bigged up Leslie Grace. And
it's going to get leaked at some point.
God, I hope so. And there'll be fan edits like completing the visual effects and things like that.
From what I gather, it was pretty much finished.
Oh, that was it. Scoob was the one where it was just the music, wasn't it? Scoob Holiday Haunt, where the music hadn't been done, but the session was still booked for the final recording for the score. So all the musicians and the composer and everybody went, screw it, we're going to go and record it.
Yeah.
We've been told we're being paid for it anyway. We don't have to even go. We're going to be paid for it because it was part of our contract. But we're all going to do it. And then they did it, and then they delivered it to the producer. And I was like, there you go. If you want to put it to a cut of the film, go for it. Obviously, it's never going to see the light of day, but we did the work.
It's never going to see the light of day. Now, if you wanted to put it to a cut of the film, and that cut of the film somehow ended up on some sort of, I don't know, information exchange service where people can suppose, share, what's the word, files, perhaps, then, I think you could do that.
Are you the guy who leaked X-Men Origins back in 2009?
No, that should have been fucking buried.
But yeah, he was like, right, Joker, Matt Reeves, the Batman stuff, Teen Titans got... The fact he explicitly said that, I was like, thank you for saying that.
Thank you for saying
that. Like, make a point of going, everything we make going forward, we acknowledge it and we approve of it and we appreciate it and we celebrate it. Doesn't matter if you are all like hardcore, no, it's got to all be connected. Like, Teen Titans Go is never going to be in one of these like films that we're doing. But we approve of it and it's Elseworld. So there you go. And it's like,
Teen
Titans
enough. Go!
To the Movies is one of my favourite superhero films from the last decade.
Teen Titans Go's right.
Teen Titans Go is fine.
I get why
Teen
people were
Titans
upset
Go
about
to the Movies is freaking brilliant.
I get why people were upset about it because they wanted more Teen Titans.
And then they got it.
And then
it
got
sucked.
But
It was a crossover movie with Teen Titans Go, so it couldn't be taken completely seriously, and the original Teen Titans were basically the villains.
They did do another series of Teen Titans, didn't they?
There's stuff. There's
Young
rumblings.
Justice, that's what they did.
Young Justice is great. Nothing to do with Teen
Yeah.
Titans, but it's spiritually it's sort of a successor. Young Justice is really good.
That's why I'm getting mixed up.
So amongst the stuff that's coming out, we've got Creature Commandos, who's one of the first ones. That's going to be an animated TV series.
Deep pull, but all right.
Animated TV series. He's also said that
it's always going to be a fucking deep pulls.
He said that they're going to cast actors who will be playing the characters across the mediums. So
that's
whoever is voicing the Creature Commandos would play them in live action.
Cool. That's interesting.
Same with the video games. He says that there's a couple of video games in the works right now that's tied into projects that they're doing that have yet to be announced, but where characters that are shared across the mediums will be played by the same actors. And it'll be the same versions of the characters.
Cool.
Which is, again, this is something that DC's Distinguished Competition hasn't done.
No, they have not.
So it's like, that's quite cool. And the TV shows are going to be, again, connected from the get-go in this sense. Obviously, like, previously they kind of have been a little bit. The Arrowverse stuff, the CW shows set up the idea of the multiverse and Crisis, and that in turn hinted that there are different realities. And briefly you see like Swamp Thing from the Amazon show, and you see Nox from Batman 89 briefly, and you see Burt Ward walking a dog called Ace, and it's like, is that Robin? Is that the 66 Batman universe? Oh my god, he grew old and is alive and happy and has a dog. It's like, this is cute. But like, and at the end of that crossover, Ezra Miller's Flash very briefly appears as everything's going back to normal.
This is the best appearance of Ezra Miller's
in front of Grant Gustin's Flash, and you have that moment of, oh my god, so I guess all of these matter, but they don't all have to tie in.
Yeah.
But they're all their own thing. Cute. Great way to do it. Going forward, that's going to be the mission. Waller is getting a series. This is not necessarily replacing Peacemaker Series 2, but I think it will.
Yeah.
They've confirmed that some characters from Peacemaker will be crossing over into this series. Hopefully Adebayo, because obviously I want to explore the mum-daughter relationship set up in Peacemaker more.
And hopefully Peacemaker.
Hopefully Peacemaker.
And most likely...
Harcourt.
Because
of course Harcourt and Waller both rocked up in Black Adam. And it's like, wait, what? And now they're in charge of a super prison under the sea. It was like, what is happening?
That's all right. That's gonna get fixed in the Flash.
Oh god. We've also got we have got another Batman iteration on the way, Brave and the Bold, featuring Damian Wayne's Robin.
That
it's specifically a film about the Bat family, which is like about damn time. Thank you.
It's been a long time since we've had a Robin on film.
I mean, it'd be nice to kind of watch the relationships grow and the characters grow. It'll be a little weird to suddenly go, it's a Batman movie. And he's had 5 sidekicks, and here they all are. It'd be like, okay, oh god, we've skipped quite a lot.
It can work though.
It could work, but it's almost like, I'd love to see the journey of Dick from Robin to Nightwing, or like the start of Tim's time as Robin, and learning about what it was like for Dick being Robin. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think it does open up the avenue for that stuff later on.
Yeah, if they want to do that. And I hope that it'll be an older Batman to sort of make the Damien thing not feel too weird for audiences.
Be,
yeah.
And
not like an old grizzled. I mean, as in, no, let's cast somebody who's like 40 but looks a little older, so we'll kind of age into the same face over the course
Pedro
of 10 years.
Pascal Batman, you hit it here first.
I mean, I wouldn't hate that.
I wouldn't fucking hate it either.
I wouldn't hate that. Batman's good. but it could be
could be
better. I wouldn't hate that at all, actually.
This film's
continue
not
his
good.
adoptive daddy thing.
But it should be better.
There you go. It's got to be Dick Grayson then, because he could be once again a daddy who adopts a kid. And,
totally.
yeah, there we go.
But no, I like the idea. Batman's one of those characters where I like the idea of them. You don't have to do any fucking origin shit for him.
Yeah.
Although the Batman was quite good.
But even then, that wasn't like, here's the origin.
Yeah,
it was,
it
we
was
know
like-
you know it, but because you know it, we're going to introduce some ideas around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman
89.
89.
There's literally just one bit where Vicky Vale reads upon Bruce Wayne, catches him putting flowers down an alleyway, and that's it. There you go.
We do get a flashback though.
We do, but that's because they tie it into the whole Jack Napier thing, don't they? Which I still don't hate.
No,
I don't think it should be
I don't
every
hate that at all.
iteration, but for that film and that story, works fine.
But I think
Sura.
coming into an older Batman
Oh. Maybe we are on kick.
is everyone knows who Batman is. You know what I mean? Everyone knows what Batman's fucking deal is. So I think you can jump straight into it without having to do all the fucking
Legwork again.
legwork again. Yeah.
So a Spider-Man toy just leapt off of the shelf. I think it was angered by all of our talk about Batman.
And getting repeated origin movies.
We're getting a Superman movie.
Superman Legacy.
We are getting a Supergirl movie based on Tom King's recent miniseries.
Cool.
We're getting a Swamp Thing film.
Cool.
We're getting Booster Gold stuff. We're getting The Authority, which is like...
That's an interesting pick.
That's an interesting one, but I
Because it's a takeoff of the Justice League.
yeah, my only issue with The Authority is we've kind of done this culturally now. We're in a post Kick-Ass world.
We're post the boys world.
We're in a post the boys world specifically. Like we've done evil Justice League in multimedia. Like
on that note, have you actually tried reading The Boys?
I've got the first volume. I read it. I went, I appreciate this for what it is, but this is enough for me.
I found it borderline fucking unreadable.
Now, I've been told by people who read it and who watched the show that the show's worth it simply because the show takes the idea from the book and goes, how do we do this in a way that's actually palatable?
Yeah, the show's
and then does it.
totally better. The only reason I've not watched it, I'm not up to date on it, is because there comes a point when you can only see people exploded into chunky salsa so many ways.
Okay.
And you just have to go, I'm going to leave this one for a bit.
You got to spread it out.
Yeah.
Like a salsa.
Like a salsa, like a chunky salsa.
Spicy
But
salsa.
yeah, the show's fucking great. It's just,
It's like a lot of the Miller World stuff. It's like I can see the appeal and some of them.
No.
Some of them
It's
are...
not like a lot of the Miller World stuff because it's good. All right.
Okay, let me rephrase that. It's like a lot of stuff that Mark Miller has written. Occasionally, there's something where you go, "Oh my god, that works really well," and then other times you go, "This is just moody and snarky for moody and snarky."
I'll say this for Mark Miller's work. It ages like fucking milk.
I reread The Ultimates not that long
Yeah,
ago.
that's exactly what I was going to bring up.
Hulk kill Freddie Prinze Jr.
Fucking awful. This far on. It may have been groundbreaking at the time, but you know, there were a lot of things that were groundbreaking at the time.
Some stuff
Asbestos was groundbreaking for the time. You know what I mean?
Some stuff,
Now it gives you
some stuff
fucking
he's
cancer.
done, I would say, is untouchable. Like Marvel 1985
Oh,
is great. It's a Spielberg movie using Marvel Comics as the sci-fi quirk in it.
I haven't read it, so I don't
I highly recommend it. Honestly, highly recommend. Like,
Cool.
Kid who loves comic books. Like, one day is in the forest and finds. I can't remember what it is. The first one.
I'm never going to read
It's
it.
like it's. I can't remember what it is he finds, but basically just finds one of the villains. He's like, what the hell's going on? And it's this whole thing of like, it's your typical kind of Spielbergian thing. Like, something's come out. They're coming into our universe. Like, these villains have led this thing, and it's broken a wall. And it's about this kid, like Monster Squad styley, like trying to sort of get everything together and keep things together in this small town.
Is his dad around?
I think his dad is around.
Then it's not Spielberg.
but he's absent. He's an absentee father. He's around, but he doesn't pay attention. He's a 90s dad who learns through magical contrivance to spend more time with his damn wiener kids.
I'll allow it.
Which is weird because in all of those instances, Liar Liar, the Santa Claus, Dr. Dolittle, they are spending time with their damn wiener kids. They're just also working to pay to keep the damn wiener kids fed. Like, they're never that bad a dad in any of those films, but the moral of it is, be a better father.
You know what? You know what bad dad is in Spielberg movies?
Oh,
Ricky Dreyfuss in Richard
Dreyfuss.
Dreyfuss in
Ricky Dreyfuss.
Ricky Dreyfuss.
Oh, Ricky.
In Close Encounters. He's a bad dad.
Yeah.
He has a fucking mental breakdown. His family leave him, and he fucks off into space in the end. Spoilers for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Oh well.
Misuses all the mashed potatoes. Right?
Oh wow.
It's expensive. Could have made a soup with that.
Could have made a soup with mashed. No, you couldn't. It's fucking mashed potato.
Leek and potato soup.
Leek and potato soup is a myth. What you're talking about is vegetable mush.
Anyway, The Authority might be good.
That'd be interesting.
But yeah, I'm just
cannot wait to see what all the dude bros think of Midnighter and Apollo. Can't wait to see that.
What else is coming out from that?
What if
the world?
Superman and Batman were a couple? That's what I can't wait to see.
I mean, I can't wait to see that for different reasons.
I just want to see people's reaction to that. If this thing that presents itself as like, yeah, this is dead cool and edgy, and then, oh, by the way, two leaders of this team were basically Superman and Batman, but, you know, with the serial numbers filed off. Oh, yeah, they're a couple. They fucking... What do you think now, bro? Yeah?
Well, those people, and I'm not lumping them all together, but those people certainly are probably going to be happy with the rest of this year, where a lot of the universe they're happier with continues to live on very briefly, albeit distancing itself from what's come before, but also blurring the lines as to whether or not it'll connect to what's about to start happening.
They haven't got much choice, have they? They've had to just...
There are 4 DC EU movies still to come. Only one of them has me feeling happy, warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
And we've seen nothing of it aside from like a teaser poster and some on-set pics of the costume. Bring me Blue Beetle. I want it. I want it.
Oh, so you're not feeling it with Shazam Fury of the Gods?
I was. A little bit. And then the second trailer came out and pretty much showed us the entire film. I'll be surprised if there's much more to the movie than what we see in the trailer. And then someone came out as an anti-vaxxer. And I was like, right, I should be able to put this past me. Like, I saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever and I didn't let Letitia Wright's thing distract me. It did sour the taste of following Shuri as a character a little bit.
I mean, let's be honest, Nakia's a more interesting character. But,
yes.
You know.
But also, and so primed to actually be the Black Panther in the MCU. I know Shuri's Black Panther in the comics.
Let's not even go there.
I know Shuri's Black Panther in the comics, but Nakia is so set up.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway,
but it's a whole different kettle of fucks, right?
But like with that one, it's a case of how do we know that Letitia Wright is like viciously anti-vax? Oh, because her anti-vax like beliefs and reluctance to actually take COVID precaution measures delayed the filming of this at one point for several weeks, and it's like it affected production for Christ's sake. In this instance, film's been made. Everyone who was in the last one has come back to make it. They've all worked on it. Love the first Shazam. Absolutely adore it. Been quite a fan of Zachary Levi over the years as a performer. Always enjoyed him whenever I've seen him in stuff. It's always made me, you know, like, made me smile. He's always been very entertaining. I watched all of Chuck. I'm one of those weirdos who enjoyed that. And hasn't revisited that since Adam Baldwin came out as such a massive cunt. And I'm like, oh, I've been a bit reluctant to go back and rewatch Chuck. I'll get around to it one day. And now, that one day is just going further and further back. Because about 3 weeks ago, as of this recording, Zachary Levi just randomly retweeted some, oh, the Pfizer vaccine's fucking weird, and I think we should all be worried about having taken it, stuff on Twitter. And it's like, oh. Now, some leapt to his defense and went, now, maybe he's talking about Pfizer, the company. Obviously, if you're against Big Pharma, there's some issues to be had there. No, read what he shared, and then the couple of replies he gave. He's talking about COVID vaccines. And then the clip started to show up of him on Joe Rogan's podcast not too long ago, talking about how he thinks Jordan Peterson has some very good points.
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? You start getting Joe Rogan involved, and you know it's all fucking downhill from there.
But that's the thing. all the Snyder not Snyder fans, if you enjoy Snyder's movies, great. Snyder bros, you know who we're talking about. And if you still feel offended, yes, it's you. The Snyder bros, who all hated Shazam because it wasn't Zack's baby, and it wasn't what they wanted because Zack didn't have a hand in it.
Yeah.
Turns out the lead of Shazam is really fucking like fitting in your wheelhouse. If you guys want to go and support Fury of the Gods, go at it. Go at it. Go ham. You know what I mean? It seems like he's one of you. Not all Snyder fans are anti-vax. That's not what I'm saying. But again, if you're personally upset by the remark, there might be a reason. And that's really put me off watching it.
That's a shame.
That and the fact that
I hadn't heard about that.
Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods have no connection. The Wizard Shazam's in them both. Okay. Is there any plan to tie them into each other? Well, no, because Black Adam's not getting a sequel.
Not anymore. No.
What was the point?
Rock wanted to do Black Adam. Like, that's literally the only point. You got to do it, and people watched it and went like, that's about as that's almost the textbook definition of mediocre.
The hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change.
No, it's not.
I'm not going to be here anymore. Neither's Cavill. Everybody's going to walk out. Peter Safran went on to talk about the fact in a separate interview that Ben Affleck is in talks with them to perhaps direct a film. And it's like, okay. Does this mean he gets to do what he always wanted and direct a Batman movie? He just doesn't have to be in it anymore. Yeah. A thing which he clearly hates now.
Well, we've still got to see his last Batman performance.
True, because another one of the films coming out this year is The Flash, which... God damn it.
The Flash and The Flash. I mean, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to the egotism of Ezra Miller to be in a buddy movie. And let's not forget, they worked on the script for this version.
Yeah, they've been involved in it every step of the way, but particularly at this point, they are so hands-on that they will have been the one to go, can I just play opposite myself?
We want to do an ensemble movie, but we're going to have two of those ensemble characters be them. What's better than one Flash? Two Flashes? No! No, it's not!
Now.
Two Ezra Millers is not better than one. Two Ezra Millers is worse than one. It's one squared. It is literally the worstness, the badness, English, the badness of Ezra Miller multiplied by the badness of Ezra Miller. It's Ezra Miller's all the way down.
You cut off one Ezra Miller, two more take its place. Yeah, this trailer is really... It makes me feel all kinds of a way.
And they're holding Michael Keaton hostage in it.
That's one of the reasons. This trailer tickles my lizard brain so much. Like, my favourite Batman movie is still Batman, 1989. One of my favourite movies is Batman, 1989. Who's over there? Who's an expensive Hot Toys statue over there?
Both of them.
Both Michael Keaton
and the Joker.
Jack Nicholson. It's I can't help it. You do that Danny Elfman score. You show me that, like,
you show me not being able to move your head
like Batman cowl. It will do things to me. You give me that Batmobile silhouette, I will feel the old. Now, seeing him in the trailer was this mix of, oh my god, isn't it kind of cool we're getting to see my Batman one more time in a film? That's kind of cool. Mixed with, CGI looks a bit ropey. Also, he's never glid that smoothly.
He's never glidded that
I don't think he's even glid before.
I think he did a little bit. He did a little bit of glidding, but he had his own bespoke hand glidder.
Do you think before he picks up the non-powered Barry, he's like, how much do you weigh? As he gets his grapple hook out. We have that conversation again.
No, it all does it automatically now.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He's got the computer technology in his cowl.
I can't help but be excited about it, about him being in it.
I can't help but be excited about Michael Keaton. That's just going to happen.
I cannot help but be excited by the Supergirl.
Supergirl stuff looks really good!
And that's coming out of Flashpoint. The whole Superman was in Flashpoint. He was underground in a bunker and like deprived of sunlight. So they've gone, well, everything's a bit different. So Zod still arrives from Man of Steel, which means Michael Shannon gets a chance to ham it up and play out in all the wonderful toys and costumes.
I like Michael Shannon hamming stuff up. Like, I'm always there for that.
I'm excited to see him in a film as this character that's not Man of Steel. Because, like, Man of Steel was many things, most of them, for me. So, to see him under someone else's script and another director, a director who likes villains, like Andy Muschietti delivered 2 It movies, and both of them featured a deliciously horrid performance from Bill Skarsgård. So, like, Michael Shannon under him? Yes, please. The rumoured real villain of this film under him? Yes, please.
Who is the rumoured real villain of this film?
This is all rumour. No spoilers, but potential spoilers. Everything's a potential spoiler.
Reverse Flash, isn't it?
Reverse Flash, and that Reverse Flash is the one from the dimension, the timeline they end up in. It's all a long game.
See, now that would be more interesting.
Yeah, the rumor is he's faking, because there's the one shot in the trailer where he is also zooming around. That Barry's also zooming around with the blue lightning.
Yeah,
and there's marketing stuff's come out, and in the film you see bits of it that he makes a costume to protect himself out of a bat suit. He like files the ears down, sprays it red, puts yellow stripes on it. But like, who's the main villain of Flashpoint, the book that every iteration of this movie's taken inspiration from? Professor Zoom, Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, or whichever bleeding incarnation it was at that point.
Yeah, one of those.
So that's the rumor. I mean, when he zooms around, he's all blue lightning in that one shot when you see him zooming around in the trailer. Barry in like a trying to stop his parents dying moment. You see like his mum and his dad being shot with blue lightning that then hits Barry. So it's like, okay, maybe those rumours were true. This will be interesting to see. Because Zod is not a Flash villain. Flash, with like probably the 3rd most famous rogues gallery in all of comic books, to not have a Flash villain in the Flash movie feels a bit weird.
Well, they really want to get their money's worth about that World Engine design.
Oh god, yeah. Just bring up the assets from the old hard drives. Bring up the old World Engine. World Engine 'em. That World Engine's appeared in more movies than DCEU's Joker. It's so weird.
Good.
And also, yeah, because we've had Flash villains in other stuff. Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, so...
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang. And,
Javelin a Flash villain?
Boomer. What?
Javelin a Flash villain?
I can't remember for the life of me. But, yeah, there's stuff in the trailer that has me like, oh, I do want to see that. But I can't help but also be like, do I really want to give Warner Brothers executives the message that, yes, you should hire Ezra Miller for more things? No. When clearly, Ezra Miller needs time to go away
I think that
and
problem's
think on
going to
what they've
sort
done.
itself out, let's be honest.
You think around the time of the film they're going to do something like stupid and it'll be enough of a, yeah, that's it.
I honestly think they're not going to work again.
Wow.
Regardless of how well the Flash does.
We need to talk about Ezra.
Yeah, honestly.
We also have Blue Beetle, but
your career.
we have Blue Beetle, but no news really on that aside from the teaser poster and the fact that it's coming out this year.
Hey, no news is blue news.
And then Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, a film that is now nearly 2 years late from its original release. A film that we've seen nothing for.
No, it's a publicity
outside
still.
of and the last DC Fandom, a little behind the scenes featurette where it interviewed a couple of the actors and you saw him on set. And we saw that he's in just an all black version of his costume. And it's like, great, that's exciting.
Let's take the colour out of everything.
You literally pulled off the orange and green at the end of the last film. We all went, all right, fair enough.
No,
and now you make it all black now. It's like, oh, okay.
What's the point? What was the point?
But obviously you've got controversy around this one in the form of Amber Heard still being the co-lead and her having let's face it, a not sellable reputation. You have the fact that they've done reshoots that have been acknowledged publicly where Michael Keaton shot scenes for it as Batman, meaning it was in the universe reset, that have been reshot with Ben Affleck. So Affleck appearing in The Flash is not necessarily his last appearance. It may be his last appearance as Batman, not Bruce Wayne, but...
Yeah, all right.
So, yeah, weird that there's just no thingy. But also, apparently, it was screened last week. Test audience. And the response was, this is garbage. Which, if true, is surprising because the first Aquaman did really well.
I really like the first Aquaman.
I enjoyed it. I've never had any inclination to revisit it.
I have revisited it, and I really enjoyed it.
Tamira Morrison, in his ongoing saga to play a dad to a superpowered or notable person who's by or around the ocean. Can you name all 3 of his superpowered kids who were born or grew up near the ocean?
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
No.
Aquaman?
Aquaman, Boba Fett, because Camino, the place they lived, was in the ocean.
Oh, so yes.
And Moana. So,
sorry, headphone users.
like how Pedro Pascal is trying to be the most daddy single dad to adopted child and everything. Tamira Morrison has been daddy to ocean-based like pop culture icons or superpowered people. So yes, I am hopeful for the future of the DC projects.
So am
I. I want something cool from them. I'd like it to be cool.
Nothing but cool stuff.
I'm not remotely hopeful for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, especially after last week's PlayStation State of Play, where it was the featured game, and it was like, yeah, so, look at this, isn't it great? Yeah. Don't ignore the fact that all 4 of our distinct characters basically seem to be jump and shoot things with a gun, and no distinct characteristics really other than that. Just ignore
King Shark, jump and shoot things with a gun!
King Shark, jump and shoot things with a gun. Harley Quinn, web swing from a bat hook drone thing and shoot things with a gun. Deadshot with a jetpack shooting things from a gun. Fine, that makes sense for him.
It's Deadshot.
And Captain Boomerang has technology that gives him flash powers and shoots things with a gun.
Captain Boomerang.
A boomerang
shoots
did not
things
feature
with
as
a gun.
Weapon once in the 15-minute showcase. Not once. Not once did it show up.
I just can't bring myself to be interested. I can't bring myself to be interested in a Suicide Squad thing with an evil Justice League. I can't do it!
Oh, not all of them are evil. Wonder Woman's fine. The one cool point in the presentation that made me go, there's the Rocksteady Studios, like, oh, you've got me, that I was expecting. There's a bit where Wonder Woman steps, Flash is going to kill the Suicide Squad and Lex Luthor. Wonder Woman steps in. She knocks him down. She gets him the lasso of truth, and he's all like, corrupted, brainiac, digitized eyes and everything. And he's laughing. She's like, Barry, how do we stop this? Tell me how we stop this. And he starts to calm down. The lasso's glowing, and he starts to sort of calm down a bit. And in his own voice, with his own eyes, he just looks at her and he goes, you have to kill us, Diana. It's the only way to stop us. You have to kill us. And it's like, that's a good hook. Because then it's that drama stakes of, oh God, like, at least as far as Flash knows, that's the only way you can stop this, is if you kill them. Kill him and her friends. But it's still Evil Justice League, which is so played out by this point. And also, once the game's out, that's not the end of it. We're going to have a dedicated team on it for the next couple of years as we add brand new stuff, completely cosmetic items in our battle pass. It's like, new characters, right? Are they just going to be like Copperhead, but they jump up things and have a gun?
Yeah,
and like
yeah. Solomon Grundy.
God.
Solomon Grundy.
Solomon Grundy packing heat on a Monday. God. Oh, but it'd be Arkham Solomon Grundy, so it'd be like 10 foot tall and dripping everywhere. That'd be fun. I'd play that.
Bloodsport.
Hang on. Bloodsport just jumps around and has guns.
Yeah.
Well,
Perfect fit.
Polka Dot Man. He'll jump around
And shoot things with a gun.
God.
Peacemaker.
Yeah. Well,
Jump around, shoot things with a gun.
you briefly see Penguin in the footage, and it's the Oswald Cobblepot from the Arkham games, but he's like 90% jowl now. It's really weird.
He's all jowl all the time.
It looks like taking itself a little too seriously Sunset Overdrive. Instead of, Sunset Overdrive, which was hey, this is really fucking fun. Let's just do this. Hey, do you guys want to make a superhero game next? You're going to make the best ever Spider-Man video game. Go right ahead. Yeah, and also just the fact that apparently you have to be always online to play this, even single player.
Yeah, fuck off.
Which means they're going to be pumping things at you to advertise to you.
Fuck off.
I think I'll just go back and replay Arkham Asylum again, thanks.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Lastly, why don't you and I have a problem with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
Because it's loads of fun.
Yeah, it's not incredible. It's not
good,
groundbreaking. I don't think it's the greatest way to start Phase 5 with a bang, necessarily. But is it... Thor of Thunder? Sorry. Is it Iron Man 2, which is not terrible, but, you know, is it one of the lesser ones? Is it the Eternals, which split people down the middle? Not me, I fucking loved it, but... No, there's more fun to be had. Is it flawed? God, yes. And we're going to do a little challenge before we finish, seeing how we could maybe fix things we had an issue with in it. But ultimately, I didn't mind Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I actively enjoyed it.
In a way that, like, I'm baffled at the response to it.
Yeah.
Again, opinions are opinions, and
I mean,
we're in the minority,
I say I'm baffled by the response to it. I'm not that baffled by the response to it, because what has been the thing since Endgame, since before Endgame, only too many Marvel movies! Ain't too many Marvel movies! They're making too many Marvel movies, and they're all the same! This Marvel movie's not like any of the other Marvel movies, but they're all the same, and there's too many of them!
You guys realise that if they released a Bond movie once a year, you'd be saying the exact same thing?
Yeah, totally.
You guys realise that...
I mean, if they released a Bond movie 3 times a year, they'd definitely be saying the same. Yeah. You know, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. And the
it.
impact it's had on cinema as a whole in terms of how other studios have reacted to the success of it, yeah, that's kind of crap. That's not the fault of them. But you know, that's the fault of, like, people just trying to copy-paste their formula and their style.
It's also the fact that, you know, it is saturated, so I get it.
Yeah.
But
you also don't have to watch everything.
You don't have to watch everything.
Yeah.
But it is taking a big influence on a lot of other pop culture, so I get the people's frustrations there. Yeah. But I just want to make sure people are actually giving stuff a fair shot and not just dismissing it out of hand because it's a superhero thing. But at the end of the day, I don't really care.
Go touch grass, enjoy yourself.
I enjoyed it.
Watch something you enjoy.
I enjoyed it, and if you didn't enjoy it, sorry. I had a good time.
Who was that?
Sorry. That was Norman.
Sorry, Gary Boswell.
That was Norman.
No, it's nagging Norman. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a, as far as I'm concerned, a solid 5 out of 10 experience. It's a 2.5 star. Will you have fun for a couple of hours at the cinema? Yes.
God, yes.
Will there be some treats if you've followed everything? Yes.
God, yes.
Will there be some dumb shit that makes you go, that's dumb? Made me laugh, though. God, yes. Is it perfect? God, no.
Does it have holes?
7. That was my favourite performance in the whole movie. Not David Desmalchin as Veb, I think it's called, asking that question. And then what's the actor called from A Good Place? He's great. He was tapped for Reed Richards for the longest time.
He's got 3 names.
Yes.
He's got 3 names. He's got a 3-name name.
Each more delicious than the last.
Yes.
But he plays a character in this called Quez, because everyone was like, Quasar? It's like, no.
That is not what Quasar can do. What's his name? Which
is also a shame, because it's like, this guy's a really good actor, and he was being rumoured for Reed Richards for the longest time.
Which I would have
I guess you could still do that if you wanted,
yeah,
but it'd be a bit distracting. But it was Paul Rudd's non-verbal response to the confirmation of 7 holes. Like, just best performance in the whole film. Very, very, very loose spoilers for the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania going forward. But if you don't want any spoilers... William Jackson Harper. W.J. Harps. If you don't want to know anything about the film, pause here, come back to the episode later. But, the best scene in the whole thing for me, in terms of like, oh, that was actually genuinely good, was between Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors, when Michelle Pfeiffer in the flashback realises who it is she's been helping the whole time.
That is very good.
It's played brilliantly because you can see Jonathan Majors' genuine reluctance of, I've actually just had a quiet period of time with a stranger who through kindness has helped me, and now I'm having to like actually acknowledge who I am, the horrible things I've done, explain them to her, and I might have to kill her because she's going to stop me now. Do you know what I mean? You can see that mix of, fuck's sake, Janet, it didn't have to be this way, like in his performance. And it's not like he was ever going to go, ha, actually, I'm off to do this. He was literally just going to help her get home, and then he was going to go off and leave. And I believe him when he says, I was going to leave your timeline alone because of you. Like, because of you showing me kindness and helping me, I was going to leave your timeline
I don't.
on its own. I believed him with that. Because, again, it's like, why would he target that one, like, do you know what I mean? Or he'd probably wait until long after her family and everybody were gone before he'd do something with that timeline.
Well, why does he target anyone? Anything?
Well, we don't really find that out.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things the film cocks up on a little, is it's the grand scheme, the grand size of what Kang is capable of is described in this movie.
We don't see.
But we never really see what he's capable of or what have you.
And I think we will.
I
think
know,
this is very much the introduction.
Maybe not this Kang.
Not this Kang.
Or this Kang, but like
Or this Kang.
a bit later. Like he's gonna get pulled out of something and be found to be alive, but we'll see. But there's a lot of for a film that is very, very heavy on the visual effects and the vistas and the creature designs. There's a lot of tell don't show in this.
Yeah.
Which is a bit like, oh, I mean, you could just show us that.
I think it depends who they're asking you to tell it you, though, because if they're asking Jonathan Majors to tell it to you, then go ahead.
God, he could narrate. I would happily stage my own funeral just to hear him read the eulogy. Even if it was like, well, I mean, you have to die for this to happen. That's fine. Just let me hear the eulogy and then you can kill me. Like, let him deliver it, please.
You googly.
You googly? Is that the name of the thing that Smolchin voiced in this film? Did you know David Smolchin was on set to play that character?
I can believe that, yeah.
Because he was like, I just kind of want to get more of a sense of him. Can I just come down to filming? And Peyton Reed was like, sure. And then he was like, here, put this mocap thing on. Are you going to mocap me? No, but like we're going to have you in for reference for him. And sort of we're going to use, like sometimes with the voice performances, they film the actor and use some of their physicality to inform the animation. It was like, all right. Let's talk about the stuff that we really liked, and then we'll go into this week's Big Damn Challenge!
Yes!
I really, really like the fact that they had a film focusing once again on the daddy-daughter relationship.
Yep.
I think it was a bit of a shame that it was like you're never there, Dad, because it's like, are you kidding me? He's like the most attentive dad in the MCU.
I mean, he was in prison for a while.
He was, but it wasn't his own decision, and they stayed in touch, and he was always a part of her life, and she was never resentful of him being away in the earlier films. However,
she was a child.
However, she has not been with him for 5 years since, and it was because of what she would consider an Avengers thing. An Avengers thing
true.
Did this to the world and took him away from her for 5 years, even though it wasn't. It was them experimenting on the quantum realm, but still. So it's like, no wonder she's got a bit of inbuilt resentment of the superhero life, yet she secretly kind of wants in on it.
Yeah, because it's cool.
I like her version of the suit.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like that it's basically kind of just a purple version of his, but her Converse are part of
I love
boots.
it. Yeah, it just keeps them on.
It's just a cute little reference. And the fact that the helmet is it's kind of like his Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man 2 kind of sort of helmet. A Civil War sort of helmet, really. Yeah, the big tall boy behind you there, it's that kind of helmet.
Big tall boy, yeah.
Which is a nice little reference.
Yeah.
I love Kang's costume.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, they just took it from the comic book and went,
it's just Kang, innit?
how do we make it look real and not too weird? Well, we just stick with it and we change the materials slightly. And there he is. I like the fact that we got the blue face because it's just part of his helmet.
Yeah.
So we get Blueface Kang. Great.
Blueface Kang.
I really, really, really like Michael Douglas in this because Hank is now at the point in his life where he's got back everything he ever missed. He has no reason to be a grumpy recluse anymore.
So he is.
Because he's got his company.
Yeah.
His wife is back in his life. They rescued her from the quantum realm. And he's got a loving family. He's bonding with his,
step-granddaughter.
Sort of step-granddaughter. Yeah. And it's like, there's no reason for Hank to be abrasive anymore. So he isn't. He's just naturally a curmudgeon.
Yep.
And is loving life. And it's like, all right, okay, which plays into the fact that Michael Douglas is probably, these things are really tiring to make. And it's like, well, then we'll just let you have some fun with it instead.
Yeah.
It works. You watch the 3 Ant-Man movies in a row. Absolutely, this is where Hank's at in his life.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And he just loves ants.
And Linda helped him get there.
She wasn't you.
You know.
It is weird how that's almost directly lifted from. God, there's something else where that exact conversation happens. Whereas like, she just wasn't you. What was it?
I don't know. But I can tell you this.
Oh, that's gonna bug me.
They did have a scripted flashback thing with Linda.
Did they?
Yeah.
What? Huh? What was that going to be about?
And they had someone in mind for her.
Whomst?
Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, okay, that'd be quite funny.
That would be brilliant.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There's a bit where he talks about marrying her. He met other people since, but none of them were ever you. And it's like, oh, yes, they just lifted that from Crystal Skull. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, they would have lifted it from the Romance in the Stone sequels, but oh wait, they only did one.
Pfeiffer, when she gets to actually explain her emotions and stuff in this film, is pretty good. There's some
cast all around. He's great.
The cast around's good, but I do feel like the movie shirks them a little. But we'll get into that. What stuff did you love?
MODOK.
Thank you.
I loved MODOK.
Thank you.
I loved
God,
MODOK, and I loved Corey Stoll's big stupid face. Look at that.
Sitting there on the desk. For those listening along at home, we've just brought Corey Stoll into the room.
It's just that. It's that. It's that.
I am one of the 5 people on the planet who really like MODOK.
I want to play with this MODOK.
And
MODOK.
I know that MODOK, you can do MODOK one of 2 ways if you adapt him. You can either take it super seriously. This is, for those who don't know, a giant swollen head with little arms and legs in a roboticized chair that usually leads an army of AIM scientists and soldiers.
Super serial.
Yeah, super serial, you guys. You can either take him super seriously and go the body horror route and hope that your audience buys into it.
Yeah.
But if they don't, it is a big fall.
But that's the coward's way out.
Or you embrace how fucking ridiculous it is. And this film did.
Well, yeah, this film did. With every opportunity to embrace the ridiculous.
The stop motion sitcom did.
Wholeheartedly.
The stop motion sitcom did it. Other adaptations have lent into the ridiculousness of him. Even the comics in recent years, like the original MODOK, George Tarleton, is no longer MODOK. George Tarleton's out there somewhere now living a normal life. A clone brain of his has been turned into a new MODOK. That's the one who's been in the books for the last few years with the bald head and the spider legs. He's called MODOK Supreme, or Superior MODOK. And even he's been evolved into a handsome humanoid called Brodok, and there's been loads of weird shit.
Let us not forget Next Wave and the Elvis MODOK.
Oh my god, yes, the Elvis MODOK. They've been weird ass versions of MODOK, and every version of MODOK is weird. There's a meme doing the rounds of people who don't like what they did with him in this film, of people going, the Avengers video game's terrible, but it gave you at least a good roadmap of how to do MODOK.
Did it?
And the MODOK in the game's pretty great, actually. They play it for body horror and intimidation. And it's George Tarleton. He's hit by the Terrigen bomb. He's there at Ground Zero when it goes off. So he's technically an Inhuman. Okay. And his cranium is evolving, and his head's getting bigger, and he's having to build the Monica Rappuccini's having to build more stuff to sort of support him physically as the game goes on. And by the end, his body is human-sized. He's got this huge head. He's in a giant floating chair, guns, lasers, spider legs, all this stuff. And it's full-on body horror. It's creepy and scary. They do a great job with it. This is an Ant-Man movie. The first 2 were comedies. They ain't gonna do that.
They kind of do.
There's some body horror, but it's not like Cronenberg. We're not Cronenberg. We're more kind of
body horror.
Yeah, we're more kind of late 90s teen comedy body horror, zip popping body horror. That's kind of where we are with this,
yeah.
And I don't mind that. Do I think they could have made his face just a little crustier? Yeah, sure, go for it.
I'm glad they didn't.
But at the same time, yeah, it's just ridiculous and weird and fun to see Corey Stoll's face stretched out sideways. Did it look like the fucking bad guy from Shark Boy and Lava Girl? Yes. Do I hate that? No.
Did Corey Stoll have a great time?
Yes. I would love to see how he filmed this.
I would love to see how he
I would love to see how he did it.
I will tell you that
did CGI artists have to render his little bum?
He must
Yes,
have
they
been
did.
involved at some point during shooting because he fought to keep the little bum.
Because he realised how fun it
He
was.
insisted on the little bum.
He realised how fun it was.
Because Corey Stoll's a bit of a nerd, so he was like, yeah,
You're going to show MODOK's little bum bum?
I want to be MODOK. I want to do MODOK.
I want to see MODOK's little bum bum. I'm trying to open up my MODOK.
Why are you trying to open up your MODOK?
Because if I open up my MODOK, I can show you the goodies inside.
Oh, I heard something rattling around in there. I was like, oh, it's an Easter egg.
See his face.
His face comes off.
Yeah, so...
his face. Show me without his face.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Show me MODOK without his face.
So here's my challenge while I open him up.
Your
Here's my
challenge
big
is to
damn
open
challenge to
MODOK.
you.
What's my challenge?
This is for both of us.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your thoughts. I've been thinking about this all week.
Alright, okay.
How would you tweak Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania to take it from a film we thought was, yeah, it's alright,
Yep.
to a, alright, do you know what? That's actually, yeah, okay. How do we take it from a 5 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10?
Well, what we do is, let's tell you what we do.
While you describe it, I'll remove his face and show you in the viewers what's
his face.
For those listening along at home, I'm peeling my own face off.
That's the sound of MODOK's face.
This is the sound of my face.
You know what?
Well, let's start with what do you think the film could have done better? And why is that answer give the Wasp something to do?
I don't care about Evangeline Lilly though.
But what about Hope Van Dyne? Hope Van Dyne should have had more to do.
I don't particularly care about Hope Van Dyne either, for that matter. Maybe that's a function of the films. I don't know. What would this film have done better? Honestly, I didn't have that much of a problem with any of the stuff in this film. So what am I fixing?
Shall I give you my pitch? Shall I give you my pitch?
Yeah.
See what you think, and you can tell me if you...
I will say I wanted the freedom fighter characters to be a bit more defined. Outside of Jantora.
The freedom fighting characters...
If I wanted to see anyone given more to do, it would have been...
There's going to be massive spoilers from this point, by the way.
And Laserhead. I didn't remember his name.
I call him Laserface!
Laserface! It's metaphorical!
Well, here's the thing. Again, major spoilers going forward for this. If you watch the 3 Ant-Man films back to back, or if you're a fan of the 3 Ant-Man movies, there's one glaring omission from this, which the freedom fighters kind of replaced in a way.
Yeah, is it
the supporting cast
is it though?
Of the Ant-Man movies.
Do I care about Luis? Not really.
No, but I think part of that is knowing Michael Pena is a bit of a weird dude.
No. Because
for me that is, but...
No, the whole of it, not even part of it, the whole of it is, do I want weird quantum realm microverse, but we can't call it the microverse because Hasbro have that trademark, adventures? Or do I want another Luis tells a story? I want weird quantum microverse adventures. That's what I want.
But didn't every character that went to the quantum realm handle it rather well? There was nothing about someone being like, the hell is all this?
And that's exactly why they didn't put him in the script.
But that's where the fun lies, I think.
Is it?
So here's my slightly fan-fiction-y pitch.
They don't handle going into the quantum realm well at all.
No. But these are characters that have dealt with, like, several of them have been here already. 3 of them have been here already.
One of them's been there properly.
Yeah. One of them got stuck in there for 5 hours. And one of them went down there to find the other one and save them. Here's my slight pitch. So the basic premise of the movie is that Cassie and Hope and Hank have been experimenting on creating a quantum realm, essentially a satellite, a drone, something that will ping signals out to the quantum realm and give them data when it pings back.
Yeah.
What we then learn, because obviously Janet is like, no, don't do that, because she knows that there's someone down there who should never be allowed to get out. What happens is it pings back, and it turns out that technology supplied by Kang, developed by Darren, leads to them being dragged through their own device into the quantum realm via the signal. Why? Because he presumably has said to Kang, there are people out there who know how to deal with this stuff, they can help us escape. It's never explicitly said in the film, but that's the implication, considering it's Hank Pym. You know what I mean? It's like, let's bring down the Pyms, they know what they're doing.
It's true.
They don't know necessarily that they're bringing Janet back down. Do you know what I mean? She's kind of a consequence of it. But here's what you do. You have the signal do the pingy ping thing.
Yeah.
3 characters get dragged down into the quantum realm.
Which are?
This is what we can decide together, because I'm still trying to figure out the perfect combo.
Oh, God.
This is what I'm still trying to figure out the perfect combo. And something else comes out of the quantum realm. Whatever Kang has requires, who needs fixing, the time chair, whatever, requires like a specific element, component, or what have you, that doesn't exist but can be made. Because Darren Cross knows that the Pym company has the technology to do it. What comes out of the quantum realm is MODOK, a fleet of Kang's like drone guys, but just for the sake of it, give them yellow glowing visors, because AIM visual, why not?
Yeah, sure.
So whoever's stuck outside, and I think it should probably be Hank, Cassie, and add Luis into the mix. They have to deal with this thing that's arrived and has come out and is terrorizing San Francisco and is going to, Pym and screwing up the place.
I think you need to keep... Never mind.
Okay. Oh, no, okay. No, actually, here you go then. All right, okay. You ready? You ready? Cassie, Luis, Hope.
Nope.
Because Hope and Darren have the history, so you at least kind of have the superhero meets their supervillain kind of thing.
Nope.
Okay. But you see where I'm going with this? You have a split plot. You have a split plot where some get brought down, realise what they're dealing with, but know they need him to get home, or at least wait for their chance.
I like the split plot idea.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you've got the weirdness of this mother trucker in the real world being dealt with by the team that are like just having to get by without the main. Like, so the reason why I think it should be Hope and Scott in the quantum realm is because then you don't have any superheroes up top to try and resolve this, which is where Cassie has to step up.
Now, I'll do you one better.
Because then that way you get to have your Kang cake and your MODOK cake. Darren has more of an effect on his legacy within the Ant-Man series.
I'll do you one better.
And also, he doesn't have to die. Because we could do something with him again later. And also, you're not necessarily sticking Luis in the quantum realm, but it's that thing of like his outlook on what is happening would be at least, sort of the comedy would remain. Also, I think one thing, as much as I love MODOK and how he looked, genuinely did, one flaw of it is he was in a realm full of weird looking shit. He was not the weirdest looking thing in there. Stick him in San Francisco.
He wouldn't be the weirdest looking thing in San Francisco.
But you get me though, don't you? Like, just the juxtaposition of him in the real world would be more weird.
Yes, no,
seeing him floating around in those prison corridors, he didn't look weird because it was like, yeah, but they're behind blue glowing light and a bloke's about to show up with a blue face.
I like
because I think Janet has to have hinted as to what's down there.
Yeah.
Because then it feels like she still feels like she's a part of why this has happened. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is all my fault. I should never have helped him. And it becomes about like, no, you didn't do... You, at the end of the day, were the good person. You did the right thing. And when you realised that this could got out of hand, you took steps to stop it. Like, you are not the bad guy here. Because it never felt to me like Janet and Kang had an arch rivalry. Even in the cinematic one, it just kind of felt like he was getting her back to go, you've been an arsehole. Anyway, I've fixed it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you're that mad at her, why are you getting her back to gloat? Just have her killed. Especially when, like, you're the dude who travels through... You've apparently travelled for centuries through dimensions and timelines. She would be insignificant. I can't imagine the amount of times where he's had incidents where stuff's gone wrong. And he's had to, like, fix it. And he's had to stop his conquests for a time. Or is this literally the only time that's happened? Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Also, how has he managed to do all of his conquests? I thought he was banished.
He's banished because he did all of his conquests.
Right, so it was a reaction to him doing all of his conquests and murdery stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Then why are the Council a threat? Why are the Council of Kangs a threat? If he's like a renegade. Like, this one, there's a few unclear things where it's like, well, if you just separate them as their own little plots, we can spend some time learning, God, this guy's dangerous. God, he's got bad intentions for our universe when he comes back.
I don't think it's that his genocides and atrocities and conquering was not what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he was doing it to his own tune and not theirs. I think that's the problem.
Okay.
I think that's why he was banished. That seems to be the implication, I think.
Whereas, like, if you then send Scott... if you send Scott, Hope, and Janet down to the quantum realm, for example, you have Janet's personal stake in it all. You have Scott having a little bit more of a handle of it, and we at least get to see the quantum realm through the eyes of Hope, who is like, what the hell is this place? Which gives then Evangeline Lilly something to do. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bonding experience for her and her mum, because she gets to directly see the sort of stuff her mum had to deal with and live amongst and put up with.
I think
Which the film does quite well in some sections. Like, the stuff, having Janet, Hank, and Hope together for a lot of the film worked really well. Because it was like, oh, we finally get to see this family together.
I think what I would do with it, following that idea of the split plot, I'd separate Scott and Hope, though, because I would want the father-daughter relationship between Cassie and Scott to mirror the one between Hope and Hank. Mm-hmm. So Cassie, Scott, and Janet be in the quantum realm.
Okay.
And Cassie sort of learning from both Scott and Janet about how to deal with superheroing.
Which does allow Hope then out in the real world to be the superhero who deals with the supervillain.
And Hope and Hank both having history with Darren.
Oh my God, and you know what you can do as well? Hank has to suit up, or at least do it a bit. Janet can have an option to tech up. Then it means that this film has literally 2 team-ups of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
2 Ant-Mans,
You'd have an Ant-Man and a Wasp, Ant-Man and a Wasp in the 2 different places. God damn it, that's actually really... In terms of the lineups, that's really good.
You've got 2 father and daughter relationships, why wouldn't you mirror them?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Luis. I don't care if he turns up.
That's fine, I mean... I'm saying if you had stuff set in San Francisco, I'd include them.
Yeah, if you're out there, you may as well.
Or even if it's just oh God, like we need to lock that place down. How the hell are we going to get into it? We need someone who's got a proper knowledge of like the security system. Oh, for God's sake! And you have Hank have to make the phone call because obviously him and Hank didn't get on.
No, they don't get on.
So you could at least kind of play into that, and the comedy come from that. So it's not necessarily that Luis is an ever-present member of the ensemble, but like bring in that team and use them to their effectiveness. And just for the fucks of it, cast those 3 actors in CGI roles in the quantum realm.
Yeah, totally.
Like we already have with Dismulchin, because then you've got that nice little thing of them just kind of both being in both plots.
Not even CGI roles. Just have quantum realm versions of them. But they're like completely different characters, but they look like them.
So Luis doesn't tell some kind of like anecdote story.
Oh God, no, I don't want that again.
No. The quantum realm version of him.
No, I don't want that again.
Tells one, which doesn't work for us as an audience because it's just weird shit that we don't understand.
They did it, and then they did it again. We don't need to do it again.
It's a trilogy.
Stop beating your dead horse in my face.
One other thing I think this could have improved this film massively would have been having a co-writer.
Yeah, fair.
I think having one writer whose primary experience is writing Rick and Morty showed a lot. There was some stuff in here that felt like a PG Rick and Morty.
Very Rick and Morty.
Sometimes that was good. The holes joke. I have holes! That, you know what? Fair enough.
I have holes. How many holes do you have?
MODOK worked for me. But replace MODOK's voice with the voice of Rick Sanchez. Replace little Veb Gooey Boy's voice with the voice of Morty. and some of these gags feel like they've just come. Or the voice of like every other character that He Who Shall Not Be Named voiced, that just went like, ooh-wee! And
we can call him. We call a cunt a cunt. We can.
You know, Justin Roiland's third voice,
cannot,
which is Morty, but with some weird ooh
I
sounds.
cannot wait
for Rick and Morty season
for the next
7.
season of Rick and Morty without Justin Roiland
Yeah.
doing all those voices. I cannot wait to see what voices we get, because
I hope they go the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
because
Why not?
Because when you watch an episode of that show, sometimes it's just Justin Roiland talking to himself for 20 minutes.
Oh my god!
I hate that.
Could you imagine if we get separate voice actors for those two characters, so that they can record together and we get some actual natural bounce back chemistry?
It'd be better if they can record sober.
That too, and not message underage girls and attempt to set them up with his unanimated friends and physically abuse his partner.
Can we just not? We just I think
Can we just not, Lund? Please.
Yeah, I think we have as a society progressed past the point where we have any need for Justin Roiland.
Do we need Justin Roiland that can be installed at all?
No.
No.
Get
we don't.
in the fucking sea.
Get in the sea. What did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Did you think that it was far below the quality standard you were expecting? Was it exactly what you thought it would be? Did you enjoy it like we did? Did you hate it like most of everyone else apparently did?
Did you suffer like G did? About 3 people will get that, but it'll be very funny.
That's all right.
It was very funny.
Okay.
Trust me.
For those listening along, my face is showing an expression of complete and utter understanding. Let us know and get in touch with us all the usual ways. BigDamnContact@gmail.com should you wish to send us a big missive. You can tweet us at BigDamnCast on the old Twitter, or you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/BigDamnCast. That way you can support the show, get onto the Discord server, and get some exclusive tidbits and videos. Our Marvel commentaries will be resuming in the near future, which have been very, very busy boys. But we've got a phase to finish. We've got to keep going. The more Patreon support we get, the further along we have to get, and then you can hear Matt's actual thoughts about Luis when we get to Ant-Man. So keep shelling out.
Can't wait.
Keep on trucking. And I'll leave you with this man's wise words.
I have to say, in all my long years, I never thought I'd be so glad to see someone get holes.
Yeah, that about does it.